Celebrities who mocked God and faced consequences. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a controversial and dramatic topic. Celebrities who mocked God and faced the consequences. We're talking about some of the biggest names in Hollywood, music and beyond who publicly dismissed or even ridiculed faith. Did these celebrities bring their misfortunes upon themselves? Did they tempt fate by challenging something bigger than all of us? Stay tuned to find out who these celebrities are and what happened to them. You won't believe some of the crazy coincidences and shocking downfalls. Okay, let's kick things off with a Beatle. John Lennon, the legendary musician, once famously declared that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. The statement sparked outrage, especially in the deeply religious American South. Radio stations boycotted the Beatles, their records were burned, and death threats started pouring in. While the initial uproar eventually died down, things weren't all smooth sailing for Lennon. He faced years of personal struggles, legal battles, and even a deportation attempt from the US. Tragically, in 1980, John Lennon was shot and killed in New York City. A fan, Mark David Chapman, who had become obsessed with Lennon and claimed to be angered by his "more popular than Jesus" comment, was convicted of his murder. Super dark, right? Next up, we have the iconic Marilyn Monroe, one of the biggest sex symbols of all time. Story goes that a preacher once approached Marilyn wanting to share the gospel and talk about Jesus, but Marilyn reportedly brushed him off, saying she didn't need Jesus. Soon after, Marilyn's life took a tragic turn. Her career went through a rough patch, her relationships crumbled, and she found herself battling addiction. It all culminated in her untimely death from a drug overdose in 1962 at the young age of 36. Was it a coincidence, or was there something more to it? It's hard to say. Marilyn's story definitely makes you think twice about the power of faith, or maybe the consequences of rejecting it. 7. Alright, moving on to a comedian who needs no introduction, Jim Carrey. Known for his hilarious, rubber-faced antics and over-the-top characters, Jim wasn't shy about cracking jokes about religion and God in his movies and stand-up routines. While he made millions laugh, some people found his humor offensive and disrespectful. They argued that he was crossing a line and even mocking something sacred. Jim openly talked about his struggles with depression, anxiety, and finding meaning in life. He even stepped away from the spotlight for a while to find himself. Now, I'm not saying that making fun of God is what caused all of his problems, but it definitely makes you wonder, right? 5. Now let's talk about a brilliant mind, Stephen Hawking, the world-renowned physicist. Hawking was very vocal about his atheism, stating that he believed the universe was governed by the laws of science, not a divine creator. He even went as far as to call heaven a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. While his scientific contributions are undeniable, some people felt that Hawking's dismissal of God was arrogant and dismissive of those who found comfort and meaning in faith. Despite his groundbreaking work, Hawking lived with the crippling effects of ALS for most of his life, confined to a wheelchair and relying on a computer to communicate. Was this just a cruel twist of fate, or was there a deeper message to be found in his struggles? 6. Last but not least, we have Hugh Hefner, the man who built an empire on indulgence and challenging traditional values. As the founder of Playboy, Hefner openly mocked Christian morals and promoted a lifestyle centered around pleasure and self-gratification. His critics accused him of objectifying women, glorifying promiscuity, and undermining the sanctity of marriage and family. Hefner faced his fair share of controversies and legal battles throughout his life. He was investigated for tax evasion, sued for obscenity, and even accused of running a drug ring. While Hefner lived a long and arguably successful life on his own terms, some might say his story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of excess and the consequences of straying too far from moral principles. 6. So there you have it, guys. Just a few stories of celebrities who seem to mock God and then face some pretty tough times. Now, I'm not saying that there's a direct cause and effect here, but it definitely makes you think, right? Remember, mocking God is no joke. As the Bible says in Galatians 6:7, "Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." It's a reminder that our words and actions have consequences, and even celebrities aren't immune to the power of something bigger than all of us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more intriguing content. Did these celebrities deserve what happened to them, or is it all just a bunch of crazy coincidences? Let's discuss.